Deep. Deep. That's a word I came up with today because I couldn't think of a better word. This is going to be like an interim one because I don't really have anything to say other than that, man, I'm like in a weird space. In a good weird, like a mystical weird, not in a unhealthy weird. If you've watched Daily Fuel recently, I've been talking about I'm doing this thing through Dr. Joe Dispenza. I'm reading his book called Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. And man, what a good title for that book because, wow, I have so many habits that I am breaking right now. And it feels very strange to break habits. It really, I've never been like addicted to drugs or anything like that. But I could imagine that when you're addicted to drugs and you are becoming unaddicted and you go through that withdrawal period, and I know that it's, for drugs, it's like very physically, whatever. It is emotionally draining. I feel like I'm going through with like emotional withdrawals, and my old habits keep wanting to pull me back in, like, come play with us. And I'm like, nah, I did that long enough. So, yeah, one of the big problems with this work you do to become more self-aware, one of the big problems with becoming more self-aware is that you can't go back. Now you're aware. It's like, wow, am I messed up? I can't unknow that now. There's just no going back. So the reason I call this one deep is because I've just decided I'm just going deeper. Let's take this rabbit hole all the way to the core. And yeah, by the way, there is no core because once you get to the core, it's like a whole new onion with new layers, and I'm learning that too. So here's a little. This isn't really new, and it's not a recap, but it's like a new way of looking at what I've been talking about recently. And in case you don't know, I put this stuff in the context of myself because I happen to be an expert on me, and but I try to elaborate on it so that we can all kind of learn from this, and it can be applied to whatever it is that you're dealing with, because I'm pretty sure that all of us are working on this self-awareness thing, and even if my issues and my habits aren't your issues and habits, we probably all have bad habits, and we can learn from this. So I've been looking at my business and my approach to business and money and that aspect of my life. If you put all the different parts of your life, like my friend and I, we call them buckets, right? Like everybody usually has, most of their buckets are probably in order, but there's usually one or two that are just like problem buckets. Like that bucket's always empty, or it's always leaking, or whatever, And for me, it's always been business and money. And I wouldn't say that I'm like poor or anything like that, but it's never been to the level that I've always imagined that it could be. And it's always boggled me why, because I do all the right things, and I can see it going on that trajectory, but I just don't take it there. Now other buckets I have, like like relationships, my wife and my family, those buckets are fine. I don't have any problem with those, and I don't stay up at night worrying about those. So so your bucket might be different than my bucket, but the stuff that I'm going to talk about is pretty universal. So here's what I've been thinking about today, because every day is a new day with this stuff. So today I came up with this, that I realized that when it came to my money, my life, my business, how I was going to make money, right? That I went into it sort of based on what I learned in school and as a kid, and then college, and then around other professionals and stuff in my field, that I kind of gave myself two choices. One choice was I could get a job and I could go up the corporate ladder, and as a graphic designer, that's a fine choice, but I like freedom. I don't like asking people for permission. I don't really play well with others. I don't like bosses. So I was like, that's not going to work. And I tried it. I've had jobs. And I'm pretty good employee. I'm not like hard to work with. I just don't appreciate not being my own boss. So the other choice was start my own business. And years ago, as a young kid, and when I started my business, it was I just created a business that was basically trading time for money. You know, I was I'll do this project for you, and it would take me X number of hours. You know what that means, right? And so I would do that for a while until finally I grew up and realized I'm never going to make a lot of money this way because there's only so many hours in the day, right? So at that point, I started to learn more about like entrepreneurialism and passive income and things like that, and decided that I wanted to have a business that was more like value for money, right? I could make a thing and sell it over and over and over again rather than just make one thing for one person and now for the next client I have to make a whole new thing, right? And that seemed to make sense when I figured out how to take my art and my vision for my life and apply it to a business like that. At first, it seemed great, but it was only great relative to what I was doing before, which was not great. So this was better. And when you're at not great and then you see something better, that seems awesome at first until you start to get there and you realize this is only marginally better. And I didn't like that either. And I tried lots of different things. I tried, I've got that TV show and I still get royalty payments from that. And that's nice. It's nice, but I don't want to do that. And it's not really fulfilling to me to the level that I know my big thing could be fulfilling for me. And I tried things like starting my old Facebook group and teaching them something and then making a course and then selling them the course. And it was like, oh my God, I didn't want to do it. So years and years and years of trying this. And it's dawned on me that I really only gave myself two choices, either get a job or run a business. And it was like, to my mind, those were the only possibilities. And I don't even know why I created this box and said everything you can try is inside this box. It was like I couldn't even imagine a different choice. To be honest with you, I still can't. I still can't imagine in this moment today at 7:15 at night on a Wednesday. I can't imagine right this moment what a third choice would be like. Except that I decided I'm going to have a third choice. I'm going to have a third choice, and I don't know what it is. And that's why I'm going through these withdrawals. And Laura, my wife, pointed out to me. She said, "Listen to this." And she was listening to a Dr. Joe Dispenza video. He was on a podcast or something. And he was talking about when somebody's going through this period, when they're starting this thing that he teaches and trying to get to this other side. He's like, basically what you're doing is like there are parts of you that are dying and you feel like, oh no, I can't die, right? But you're going to the other side of this thing, and on the other side is freedom. Because you're living in this fear side and on the other side is freedom. But when you're in the middle of that and you're going through what I was feeling was like withdrawals, he called that the void. And I was like, what a great word. But I had already called this video deep, so I couldn't rename it. But if I had heard that first, I probably would have called this one void. But whatever, same thing. Because that's where I'm at today. And I don't know how long the void is going to last. It's not going to last years or anything like that, but it could last days or a couple of weeks. But basically, it's your old habits calling you back. And that's what I feel like. I really feel like, man, I just want to call that client and see if they want to do a project. And I was like, dude, you do that all the time. You can run in that hamster wheel for the rest of your life if you wanted to. Or you could just decide to bite the bullet and figure something out and allow a third option to come to you that I don't know what it is. I don't even know that I know what I would want it to be. But I know it's there. And I think that's going to be the lesson of the day, is that if there's a thing that you want and you know that the things you can see aren't the thing that you want, then just by the way that the universe works, the thing that you want has to be a thing that you can't see yet. But it's there. It's got to be there. It has to be there because you're imagining it. You can feel it. You can sense it. You just can't see it yet. And because I could never see it, I just was dismissed it. Oh, that can't exist. What can't exist? I don't know. I can't even imagine what it is. So how could it even possibly exist? Well, it does, because I've always sensed it, and I don't know what it is. So I'm in that void, and I'm going deep, and that's a lot of poetic words today to describe a thing that I don't even really understand what it is. But maybe you do. So I'm going to go to the comments now and see what we got. Wow, that's a lot of comments. So Robin's here. Hi. I said hi to you guys, Ray and Mikey and Ray again. So are we headed for lava? What does that mean? Because I'm going deep, I guess. Oh, deep like into the earth? No, deep into the soul, right? So the lava of the soul, maybe. Amy, hello. Hi, Amy. How are you? Just got back today. We'll have to catch up on lives. When Amy misses lives, she goes back and she catches up on all of them and comments everywhere. And I get like notifications. My notifications like, Amy. It's funny. I like it, Amy. Don't not do it. But it's just one of those things that I see and I go like, that's great. I love it. Just got back today. We'll have to catch up on lives missed in the morning. Hope all is good with the Heartists. Yep, I think everything is good. Tony's here. What's up, pal? How you doing? Just here for the deep innuendos. Sorry to disappoint you. None of those today. I did get a haircut today, and the girl cutting my hair asked me if I had ever been to a swingers club, just like out of the blue. I was like, okay. So there you go. There's not an innuendo, but you can have that one, Tony. So Robin says, have you been working on your film? Is that why you're in a good space? Today I actually didn't even get to it. I have been working on it mentally, but today was just a lot of a lot of inner work. It was really just it was an interesting day. Being in the void, it wasn't comfortable. I'll put it that way. It's not a comfortable space when you're feeling that pull back to your old habits. I feel like yesterday I was really gung-ho in the direction I was going. I like felt the momentum. And then today I kind of felt like, this is hard. Maybe I'll just go do the thing I know how to do. It's not great, but at least I know what I'm doing. You know? It's like I don't know what I'm doing. And it's uncomfortable. Comfort zone. Amy says, yep, I'm here. I missed the lives, yeah. That's what my therapist told me to do, says Robin. Something that makes me uncomfortable, and I was kins. I was kind of bad at it because I was uncomfortable. Yes, exactly. You meant kind of. I tried, but did it kind of half-assed. Yeah, I know. I've done it half-assed too. And this time I'm not. And it gets more uncomfortable. But I think based on, the void thing that I heard Dr. Joe say, he's like, no, you got to get through it. You just got to get through it. You just got to get past it. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. Maybe it'll be tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. Stace is here. Hey, everyone. She says, hello, Stace. How are you? Nice to see you again. Robin, I have trouble asking for help because I always think I have to be Superwoman. That's an interesting comment because I think that was part of it for me too, is that like, I got, I say the hamster wheel, right? My business, I still have client work that I do. And it's like, I almost can't say no when people ask me to do things, partly because I feel like I can't ditch them. And partly because I feel like my old habits tell me, you can't say no to work. You have to take that money. You got to do that work, And so, but at the same time, I've got this part of me telling me, but you also have to do this thing for you. And it's like, we're not Superman or Superwoman. We are only, our 3D selves are only capable of so much. Our infinite selves are capable of everything, but we're not here as that version. We're here as that version in a meat suit, right? Ray, I liked that quote, and I had seen that before. We're just a ghost in a meat covered skeleton riding on a rock, right through space. Fear nothing. It's the truth. My money bucket is rusted and busted, says Mikey. I hear you, pal. I hear you. That's I think the money one is a big one for a lot of people, and I'm going to go out on a limb here and just say, especially for artists, because what is the one thing we have been told forever? I mean, society is like the starving artist, right? You can't make money as an artist. You can't go to school as an artist. It's insane. We live in a society that tells us that there's no value in what we do. Don't we? That's not nice to say to people. Screw that. There's value in what we do. Ray says, you have to go through it all because you have to see the new crap from the place where the old crap started to get past the crap that was you to get to the new crap that is becoming you. I know what you mean. Acquiring new tools along the way, shovels being a great tool. Right? Yeah, definitely. That's why we're going deeper here. We're going deeper. And, I don't know. How do you guys feel about that with this entire thing about like starving artists and there's no value in what we do? Other than like as a art therapist or art historian, maybe, or as a graphic designer. And I think that really, really messed me up because it was like, when I've told you the story about when I wanted to get out of engineering school and then I went to art school, and they were like, go in for graphic design. And it's really interesting because I never thought of graphic design before then. I didn't really even understand what it was until I went to school for it. And then I was like, oh, this is a thing. And at the time it made a lot of sense because here's art you can make money at. Right? How do you make money as a painter? People do, but it's not a thing that a lot of people do. Or, in my art, like as a musician or a singer in a rock band, how do you make money as that? Well, there's superstars that make lots of money, and then there's everybody else who make $50 on a Friday night at, Joe's Tavern, and that's it. So it's like there's no real value in it. Everybody likes it. Everybody likes art. Everybody thinks it's cool. Everybody thinks it's great. But there's really no... this isn't my opinion saying that there's no value. This is what we're told all the time. Sorry, I'm processing that thought as live as we're talking about this. Robin says, don't just take it there. Somehow a fear of success, like I think it might be something I might have, need to work on. Ugh. A fear of success. Okay. If you could expand on that. I know what a fear of success is. I'm curious if my fear of success, like the reason I wasn't success. Let me start over. I used to feel like I had a fear of success. And the way I used to think about it was, well, maybe I'm afraid that if this business gets too big, then I'm going to be too busy at it, or I'm going to need more people, and I don't really know how to run a team, or, I would make all these excuses why I didn't want the business to get bigger, because I knew how to make the business bigger. I understand business. I understand how to I could have made a client-based design company and turn it into an agency that made millions. I could have done that. And it wasn't like I was trying to do it and I couldn't figure out how. I knew exactly how. I just didn't do it. And I used to think that, well, maybe I have a fear of success because if it got that big, I wouldn't know what to do with it anymore, until I realized I don't think that's it. I don't think that's it for me. It's now I'm realizing that's not what I wanted. It's like, oh, I could have that thing and I could turn it into this thing. And now I'm realizing I don't even want that thing. That isn't what I want. And somewhere innately I knew I don't want to go there. And if I go too far there, it'll become too big that I'll never find my way to this third thing that I don't know what it is. That's interesting. So maybe that's what a fear of success is. Maybe we call it fear of success, but maybe it's fear of getting stuck in a place you don't want to be because some bigger part, smarter part of you knows you're heading the wrong way, And if you go too far that way, then not only are you going to be still doing this thing you hate, but you're going to be feeling like there's no way back anymore. Even though there's always a way back. But that's really interesting. Wow, you guys are smart. Thanks for that one, Robin. Stace says, past midnight here, heading into Thursday. Where are you? You're in the... so you must be in Europe. Okay. When you're in the middle of the fear, you can't think straight, says Robin. That's true. And Hector's here. Hello, everyone. What's up, Bobby the Void? Interesting. Hey, Hector. Today's Hector's birthday, everybody. Happy birthday, Hector. How are you doing? Thanks for spending a little of your birthday day, evening, whatever, with us. Appreciate it. Robin, it is there. If you can get past the fear, you might be calm enough to listen to your heart because your heart knows. So you're talking about the thing that I don't know what's there. I don't know where these comments are coming from. Like I said, the comments, you guys write them as I'm saying things, but by the time I read them, 15 minutes has passed, and I don't know what the heck you're talking about. So, which I find funny sometimes, but there's a lot of context there. I think you're talking about when I said I want this third thing, and I don't know what it is or where it is or if it's there. It is there. You're absolutely right. Thank you. Think I'm in a void at the moment as well, says Stace. Well, I'm going to be using daily fuels to get through the void. So join me and let me know what you're doing, and maybe, we can help each other through this thing. Breathe a little bit. Okay. Amy says, retraining your brain from its muscle memory, habit, or way of life is difficult, but you can change how you react to it. You will get tons of notifications tomorrow. All right, I'm going to read this one. It just says anonymous. Safety nets are set out for a reason. Wouldn't having the backup cash flow of what's tried and true open the door for more freedom to dig right into what you love? Yes. Yeah, I by the way, I'm not saying that I called all my clients and fired everybody. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that I have had that thing. I've got the safety nets. My friend and I, we call them, like, sometimes I gotta go do a paper route, right? Not literally a paper route, but that's what we call, like, odd jobs and things. I have clients say, hey, can you help me with this video or something like that? I don't have a business doing that for people, but he's a client and he needs help with a thing, and it's hundreds or a couple $1,000 or whatever, and I'll do it, and but the way that I've been doing it is year after year after year, I'm still living on the safety net. And it's like, there's something else. So I'm not saying that I'm saying no to a job and no to a business, and I'm going for this third thing. And in the meantime, I've completely thrown my business in the garbage. I didn't do that. But thank you. That is a good, and I'm sorry, I don't know who it is because this error messed things up and now everybody's anonymous. Here's another one. I've tried all kind of ways to make money, but there's nothing worked. There is value in what we do, but society doesn't see it or appreciate it. That's what we were just talking about. It pisses me off. Was that Robin? Because you said kinda again. It pisses me off, the starving artist thing. Everyone told me not to go to art school because there's no money in it. That's what they say, right? So I'm guessing that a lot of us have this rusty money bucket thing. They don't appreciate the value of the personal emotion and effort that goes into our art. And when I say art, I mean anything artistic, writing, painting, music, etc. And happy birthday, Hector. I'm guessing those are all Robin. I'm in the UK. I think that was Stace. That one looks whatever. It's anonymous, but I think I saw it before. So, because I asked, where are you? And somebody is saying happy birthday. I don't know who it is, but happy birthday again. And now the rest of these are back because these are after I came back live. Marcia says, I got to a certain point when the fear of failure and disappointment sets into my mind. The fear of failure and disappointment. Yeah. So there's the fear of success, like I'm going to get stuck doing this thing that I don't want to do. And then there's the fear of failure, where it's like, what if this doesn't work? Or what if I have to start over again? These are all real things, and these are all things that we feel. And I guess what I'm trying to say with the deep topic today is that there is an end. There is an end. And if your issue is anything like my issue, it's that I went into it and pulled back. I went into it and would pull back. And it was almost like I was on a pendulum that just went back and forth. And because any time I would move forward in it, it would get uncomfortable like it is now. And I would go, yeah, I'm gonna do what's more comfortable. it really is weird not knowing what's going to happen, because if I just turned tail and ran back to that comfortable business, I would at least know. I wouldn't know exactly what's going to happen, but I would at least be able to map it out in some way, and at least be able to figure out the ways that I could make money and make more money and grow it and get bigger. I could do that. I know how to do it. I just don't like it. Lots of people like it, and that's what messes you up, right? I don't know if you guys are involved in like entrepreneur land. There's other parts of Facebook that are all like entrepreneurs, and I used to be in groups like that. I used to run one, and it was like you see the people who their art is business. It's like their canvas is courses and funnels and things like that. And they're so good at it. They love it. They eat it up, right? And it's like I would look at them and be like, I could do that. I understand how that works. I went to engineering school and art school. And not only do I understand the tactical way that it works, but I could design it and build it myself. I'm a web designer, for crying out loud. I could do all this stuff. And then I'd get into doing it and I'd be like, oh my God, I hate this. I hate this. And God forbid I took it even further where I actually put it online and tried to sell something and somebody bought it. Oh my God, now I gotta make this thing and sell it to people? No, don't want to do it. I just want to go make a movie and music and stuff. But I don't know how to turn that into a business without it being this rigmarole, that like starving artist that I don't want to be. So I was like, there's got to be another way. And today I don't know what that way is, but maybe tomorrow I will. Robin, you're cracking me up when our comments don't make sense. It cracks me up too. It really does. Happy birthday, Hector. Stace says hi again. I'm back. Okay, so this is when I got back. You were gone for a moment. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I looked down and it just said error, and I was like, oh, when did that happen? So sorry about that. That's me, art school comment, Robin says. We're past all that. I figured that out. Stace, that was all mine, are either art, value, and emotions. Oh, that was Stace. Oh, so I was reading that as Robin. Whatever, you both here, you're both smart. Let's see what we got. Where did I go? I scrolled back and Ray says, and there is a fear of standing still too. Oh, now there's 3 fears. Yeah, there is a fear of standing still, right? Oh man, I'm now X years old and I haven't done that yet. Oh, that's a great feeling, right? Failure, success, stagnation. You can't win. But you can. And I think that all those fears are, at least for me, what I'm figuring out for myself is that all of these fears that I've had are the universe telling me, you're just trying the wrong thing. You're not trying the thing you actually want to do. I was like, no wonder I failed at that business and that business and that business. They were all in that box over there and I want to play with this box. Why would I limit myself to that box? Because that's the box everybody says has money in it, and that's the box that has no value. That's art. They can't do anything with that. You can't be a musician. Come on, dude. What are you talking about? You can't, oh, everybody wants to make movies and stuff. Oh, wouldn't that be nice if we could all do that? Go out and be responsible and make money and get clients and do that stuff. Makes sense, especially since everybody's doing it. Nobody's happy, right? Nobody's happy. Let's all be happy. Robin says, your fear of success comments made me think in a different way. Yeah, maybe it might lead me to something I don't want. Yeah, that's what I was saying, right? Think about that. Let's continue that conversation. I don't think I ever thought consciously about it that way, but you might be right. You might have hit just the exact reason. Light bulb moment. There you go. Sometimes I find I have light bulb moments, but then I think about them for a day or two and I realize that it was just leading me to the real light bulb moment. So don't land there. Really think that through and apply it to your life. 3 fears, LOL. I'm a very scared person. I feel the same about my book, says Stace. I want it to be a success. I just don't know how to make it one. Hasn't stopped me working on a second. hasn't stopped me working on a second. Good for you, Stace. You know, that's really interesting. For me, it looked like this. I want to make this movie or whatever, right? And I would start. I've said this before. I would start reverse engineering how to turn it into a business. So I would look at something. This is art. This is business, right? I would look at something in my art world and be like, man, I want to make this, and I want to do this, and I want to do this, and then I'd be like, but you got to be a business person. You have to make money. You have to figure out how to do it in that box. So I would take it and I'd bring it over to this box, and I'd be like, let's see where I could fit this in this box. You know, like I could run ads to this thing and see if I could get people on there to buy this thing, whatever, right? And before you know it, like the pieces don't fit, and when the pieces don't fit, it's like, well, do I really need this piece? I don't need that piece. And until, you know, that was my nub thing the other day, right? I was whittling it down. Well, this is now I'm just getting rid of pieces until finally I don't have any of the original pieces anymore. All I have is something that resembles a business, and or actually is a business but resembles art, and it's not even anything I want to make. So now, God forbid, I start selling it. I'm like, well, whoop-de-doo. It's not what I wanted. I think you get it. Robin says, I think I don't want all the work of selling, promoting, etc., etc. I just want to do the work. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm feeling too. I don't want to land there because I don't want to... I don't have an answer to that one yet today, but I'm feeling that one, Robin. So we'll probably come back to that one a different day because I was feeling that. I was like, I don't want to sell anything. I don't want to have clients. I don't want to know people. I was like, all right, maybe I'm going a little too hard the other way because clearly I like having people around. David, have I said hi to you, David? Hi. Many entrepreneurs say they can help me with a free masterclass, then ask for thousands of pounds after putting me off wanting to be anything like them because there's no integrity in their real aims and it defeats the point of what they pretend to be. I know exactly what you're talking about. There are a lot of poor examples of that entrepreneur land that I talk about. The model that's supposed to be emulated, and I've mentioned this, like the reason most people start Facebook groups is to give a lot of value, give, but then you can offer things like, by the way, I have this thing, and if you want to buy it. But what David is talking about is more of like a bait and switch kind of a thing, where it's like people lure you into their world, but if you really want to understand how to do anything, you got to pay through the nose. And I never felt good about doing it that way, and the correct way even didn't work because I could never I want to make the art. I don't want to make a thing to teach somebody anything. Like, I don't want to teach you guys how to make art. You know, I don't even want to teach you how to have a better life. I'm doing this because it's helping me, and it's also helping you, which is great. But it's not like I'm not coming to you saying, hey, guess what? I'm an artist and I figured out how to fill all my buckets and I'm a millionaire and I can teach you how to, fix that problem that you're having. I'm saying, no, I've got that problem too. Let's figure it out together because I've been trying to figure it out all by myself. It hasn't been working. So that's why we're here. And I don't have anything to say. Ray says, it's life, my furry little friend, and all you other artists too. We'll get it figured out, some faster than others. Some will take many paths to find it, but we'll get there. And with a little help from our friends, sounds like a great line for a song. Yes. That you're absolutely right, Ray. More to the point is that this struggle that we're talking about today, it's part of the game. It's part of, we knew we'd be coming here to do this. It's like I got to figure this out. And when I said earlier, it's like we're going to go deeper and deeper and deeper, and then you get to the core, and then the core is another onion, and with its own layers. And so you're never going to get to that part where it's like I've got all of it figured out, and everything's perfect, and I have no problems. That's not going to happen while you're breathing. So let's not even worry about it. But it doesn't have to be quite so friggin' hard all the time. We can make it a little bit easier on ourselves. Robin says, maybe I'll be like Grandma Moses, who became known after she did all the work. Maybe. Lots of artists figured out later in life. I figured out the same, Robin, says Stace. Mikey, I hate the word client. Sounds kind of like a prostitute. Okay, I know what you're talking about. But Robin, I had a guy chase me wanting to represent me, but for money, money, money. So he wanted to represent you like as an agent, represent your art, but take a cut. All right, if that doesn't feel right to you, then don't do it. Personally, I don't see a problem with that business arrangement, but it's also the person. He could have been sleazy, so you gotta feel that situation out. Stace says that's exactly it, David. I won't go to a publisher and pay them to handle my book because I feel my writing would lose its integrity. And the way I see it, if they see true value in my work, they'd be paying me to have it published. Then that leads me to think it's not good enough. Okay, that's the whole thing there. So, well, a publisher would pay you to publish your book, wouldn't they? They'd give you an advance and all that stuff. But then there are people who are like, I'll help you publish your book for a fee. And then they get it on like the bestseller lists and things like that. I do know a couple people who do things like that. I don't really understand how that business works. It always seemed a little bit, to me, not shady, but I don't know. If a route, these are all valid routes. I think that there's somebody who could be watching this video that writes books saying like, I do that and it's awesome, and for you, Stace, that's not awesome because that doesn't feel right to you. And maybe like me, you're saying it doesn't feel right to me, but I can't put my finger on it. I don't know why it doesn't feel right. It just doesn't feel right. So I'm not doing it. Well, then don't do it. Ray. Oh, Stace, glad you used that name. I think she was talking to David Oliver. But yeah. Robin says to Stace, my mosaic friend has all his stuff and keeps talking about it my mosaic friend has all his stuff and keeps talking about it for when he's gone and he becomes famous then. Okay, I'm sorry, I don't know what that means. No, he wasn't a real agent. He was a joker, I felt. Yeah, okay, so this is what I'm talking about, right? Like, at least we're spiritual people and we're aware of our emotions and we've got that radar. So use that in things. David, I'm in the same situation. If you want to talk through it with me, I would be happy to do so. Okay. Robin, and I see posts about him and no evidence of being a true promoter. And now I'm getting lost in the comments, guys. I don't know who we're talking about. I had a bad experience with my music managers in my early career. Okay, so we're talking about managers and partners and things. I have had ups and downs with that because I have had strategic partners, I have had business partners, I've had agents, and sometimes they work out fine, and sometimes it's a nightmare. And the answer really is to just do your emotional due diligence on this person, right? You talk to them, you get a feeling for it. Even with clients, it's like I learned the hard way. Like I would go into meetings sometimes to get a client and I would be so fixated on the fact that I got to get this client, I got to get this check, I got to get this contract, I got to get this project, that I wouldn't even really be paying attention to the person. And then halfway into the project, I'm just like, oh my God, I just can't wait for this to be over so I can be done with this person. I don't want them in my life. I don't want them in my business. So it became much more important to me who it was that I was dealing with rather than the monetary value that they were bringing to the table. I'd rather work with a lower paying client that was an amazing person and just brought joy to the work and things like that than somebody that was a real pain in the ass or a cheat. Right? What good is that then? Because then there's no monetary value and they're annoying. Robin, I don't think my stuff is up the level of being represented. Nuts. Well, that's a whole nother thing, isn't it? That's like imposter syndrome. I'm not good enough. I don't know about that, but I think that's we all have to overcome that. That's a whole nother Daily Fuel. I love this group, says Hector. Thanks, buddy. I love this group too. You guys really bring a lot. Like, look at this. Look at this conversation that we just had. This was pretty intense. I'm tired. All right, guys, I'm gonna go if there are no more comments, and then we can pick this up tomorrow. This is a journey. It's kind of interesting because I called this group the Quantasy and the Quantum Odyssey, and it is really turning into a journey for me. And I appreciate you guys showing up and taking the journey with me, because I hope you're getting as much out of it as I am. I don't know what there goes my dog. I don't know what's happening. We're being invaded. Probably a squirrel or a delivery person. So, all right, I'm going to go now. And Hector, you get the booby prize for your birthday. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. I got to go see who's attacking the house. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.